carrying on with my monthly videos, I have a special guest with me today, Sally Brady. Hello, Sally.
Hello.
So Sally is an expert and a whiz with financial planning and business planning. And because I'm cheating and I'm putting this into like February's slot on finance, and I'm going to have to catch up with March. But yeah, so Sally knows everything about finance. That's why I've invited her today to talk. And when I sort of talk with businesses and do a business MOT with them, I carry out sort of I look at 4 different areas: finance, leadership and staffing, sales and marketing, and process and operations. But finance is always a weak area for people. So really glad for you to be here today, Sally. So thank you for joining me.
It's good to be part of it. Thank you.
Good. And Sally, so I'm gonna sort of launch straight in because we've only got 10 minutes, so hope you don't mind. But why? Let's start with an obvious starter then for 10. Why is financial planning important for a business? Why do they need to bother?
I think, as we were talking earlier, I think one of the key things that I always see is that when businesses start up, they focus very much on sales and marketing. And yes, while they're great, and you've got to have sales and marketing to generate a business, that actually having the financials in the right place can also generate profit, because it's key to keep an eye on your costs and your income at the same time. And I think that is something that a lot of business owners forget. Yes, they'll have the key costs in place, but it's a tracking that. And it does enable the growth of profit in business as well. Yeah.
So that's kind of like looking at both sides. It's like what gains can they make, but also what savings can they make?
Yeah, and just making sure everything is stable and everything's aligned, because I say you might be making fantastic sales, but suddenly, like we're having at the moment, the utility scenario where bills are going absolutely through the roof. I mean, mine this morning, my standing charge has gone from 23p a day to 40p a day on my electric. Those sort of things happen very quickly in business. So having a plan there and having something that is visible that you can track is absolutely key. Otherwise, that sale could suddenly become a loss rather than a profit.
Yep. Okay, good. So what does a small business need to understand about their finances? What kind of areas, what do they need to be expert in?
Don't necessarily need to be an expert. I think this is where people get a bit scared of numbers, and it's more about knowing your numbers and having a basic understanding. But one of the key things for me, and that I focus on with all my clients, is cash flow. Know your cash, know what's coming in and out. Don't rely on your annual accounts. Don't rely on your profit and loss. Profit and cash are 2 very different things. Yes, profit generates cash, but cash ultimately is what you have in the bank on that day. And I don't mean checking your bank account once a day and thinking, oh look, it looks all nice and rosy, it's in the black, because actually by tomorrow it could be in the red. So for me, it's about tracking cash, making sure you are tracking your cash. Okay.
And how would you suggest they improve their knowledge in those areas?
You talk to me.
Yeah. Do you want to actually, while we're on that, do you want to explain to me about your monthly subscription service you do, because that's quite useful?
Yeah, I have for really small businesses. I know that appreciate that you've probably got an accountant. Accountants aren't cheap, but it's about having a little bit of accountability and knowing and understanding your numbers, how to challenge your accountant, what to ask, how to build a cash flow, and how to keep on top of it. So the monthly subscription I do, it does just that, and it's £30 a month, but it helps people. I've got clients now that actually say that by just doing that, it's grown the business. I've got a doctor I work with, and they do courses, and she said just by having a cash flow in front of her, she realized they're about to dip, but actually when she looked at it, she knew by selling 2 courses that month, it would bring them back to where they needed to be. So she said by just having that subscription and knowing that she's got to talk to me about it, it actually helped her. So, and they're really flying with things now.
That's great. And you also help them with profit and loss, don't you? Profit and loss sheets.
Yeah. So I look at the profit and loss and the balance sheet and sort of give them some pointers. A lot of people don't realise at the moment that your balance sheet is absolutely key as well. They tend to ignore it. So for me, again, by doing this subscription, I can educate you why your balance sheet is important, and what it means, especially since we've just gone through a pandemic, because I don't think people realise the impact of all these loans, the bounce back loans, the grants, what impact they've had on their P&L and balance sheet.
Yeah. And so this isn't a sales call for Sally, but I do have to emphasize that this subscription is only £30 a month. So come on, businesses, this is a really good thing. It's useful. Is there anything that people can do to improve their knowledge? Are there any other like easy tools to use online or anything like that that could help? Or?
I always encourage people to have the at least the bare minimum with their with their accounting packages. Use things like Xero or QuickBooks. Sage I'm not 100% a fan of because they're not cloud-based, whereas these are the QuickBooks and the Xeros of the world, even Free Agent. They're quite easy tools that you can have on your on your phone. And you can keep track of your numbers, and to me it's about having visibility. If you don't want that, at least build a relationship with your accountant. Have somebody that you can talk to. Your accountant should be helping you plan and helping you go through these things. So build your education that way. And they're not scary people. Yes, we've just talked about, I call them the Grim Reaper, but actually they're people too, they're humans too. They face challenges within their own businesses. So it's worth having a conversation and building your relationship. Don't leave it for them to approach you.
Yeah, absolutely, because they won't. No.
Too busy.
And I'm always saying this to my clients. It's like just chat, just pick up the phone and talk to your accountant. Like you need to like have a chat to learn from them, and they should be kind of educating you a little bit, shouldn't they? Really.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Are there any quick wins for companies in the world of finance and cash flow?
Yeah, cash flow. Look at your cash flow. I did a workshop with Canterbury University last week and had a lot of business owners on, and they were shocked at how easy it is to build a cash flow. And don't just build one for your business, build one for you personally. One of the things I see a lot of these businesses put themselves second. They don't pay themselves because they think they should put themselves aside. To me, you are the key employee within your business. The first thing you should do is plan what you need to have out of that business and build that line into your business cash flow. So I always have personal and business running side by side, so I can see what I need to earn to generate within my business. So for a quick win, I'm going to build a cash flow today. Okay,
good. And are there any easy tools online to help you to create a cash flow?
Excel. Just use Excel. Don't overcomplicate. I know that a lot of the coaches out there say there's a tool for that. Don't use them. Use Excel. It's easy, it's trackable, and it doesn't, those tools don't read your mind. Only the information is only as good as you put in. Excel you can manipulate much easier, and it's much better in visibility.
Okay, I'll have to bear that in mind in the future then. And so what is the sort of one thing that you'd like companies to take on board then, moving forward?
Not to be afraid to challenge your numbers, and also take the time to understand. I know in my corporate background, one of the things I always say is that the businesses I worked with, the CEO and the CFO, which obviously managing director and finance director, weren't necessarily finance people, but they had a team around them that supported them, so they had the knowledge, so they fed them the knowledge. Be that person that wants to learn, be that person who wants to understand the numbers. It is really key to your business, and you'll be surprised at once you get focused, how it can drive profit. It's not just sales and marketing. Finance is really, really important. I know we see it as a red area, but it is an important area. Yeah,
and it's not. I think for people like me who are kind of like marketing type people, it sometimes can look at it as like, oh no, that's like doing my homework. But it's not that. It's not that boring. You can make it quite simple, can't you? And you can make it quite.
Yeah, and I think the takeaway for me is, accountants like myself and business planners, we're not all grey-suited people. Actually, we're quite human too. So, and you can make it fun. I mean, in the workshop I did the other week, and I'm doing a course starting in May for 3 months, and it's about making it fun. It's about making, that you can enjoy it and that you do get interested in it. And for me, that is keeping it simple. If you overcomplicate it, you'll never go near it. And I think that's one of the myths around accountancy and things about financials, is that they're complicated. They're not. Once you learn, they are very, very straightforward and easy to understand. And that's what I like to do, is educate people, how easy that is, so that they learn from me, but learn in a fun way.
Thanks, Sally. Thanks for that. I think that's a really good sort of quick snapshot of it. But I did want to introduce you all to Sally, because she is a wizard in this area, and she will be able to help you. So do contact her if you or DM me to find out her details. That's fine. But thank you for joining me today, Sally.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it.